Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I just want to do a video on growing mycelia, small batch composting. Mycelia is a fungus. There's white mycelia, there's brown mycelia. It actually has like a root structure that grows into the wood and deteriorates the wood. It happens under moist conditions. It's nature's way of decomposing woody materials. It's very important in our planet in order to grow things. And it happens naturally. But you can create this in order to create compost for your garden. It's very important to have mycelia to help the plants uptake nutrients, which makes it less likelihood of having diseases come upon your plants because diseases are in the soil. It's just you have to be able to deal with them. And, putting all kinds of fungicides and herbicides and other chemicals in your garden really isn't the way to do it. Poisoning the planet is not the way to do it. Anyhow, it's a real simple process. I'm going to put some bark mulch over there, which is already partially composted. I'm going to put a layer. I have a kid's swimming pool. I cut a big hole out of it so I can compost with it. And I can also use them for planters. So put a layer of mulch, I'll put some sticks, and I don't have many grass clippings, but I'll put grass clippings on top of it. And as I mow my lawn, and it looks like I have lawn mowing to do today, I'll add more grass clippings and just mound it over with grass clippings so it can compost because the nitrogen will come out of the grass clippings. And you need a ratio of 1 part woody material, carbon material, brown material. Woody material is called brown. Anyhow, the green material is nitrogen material. You need 30 parts nitrogen to 1 part woody material. So you got to keep adding on top of this to help break it down, to feed the mycelia, and the mycelia will do work also. And it's good to keep it moist. You can put it on top of a piece of plastic like I did here. You could put down weed control fabric so that it can drain, so it doesn't, make sure it doesn't get flooded depending on the area you place your composting unit in. And you can also just put it on the grass and worms will come up into it, and that's a good thing. That's the way nature works. Anyhow, I'll get this stuff together. You only need a small layer for your first layer. These had already been through composting so far. I took them out because I decided to use that as a planting row and get rid of the plastic that I had underneath it in order to hold the moisture in. And you wanna try to keep this moist. Water it just like you water your garden. Moist is good. You don't really want ponding. Depends on the climate that you're in. If it's a really hot climate, some ponding won't hurt because it'll wick back up into the material. And just make sure it's covered over really well with a few inches of mulch on top of the bark mulch. And I get it by the bag. It's the least expensive material to get at like a Walmart. It's been under $3 a bag. It'll probably be $3 a bag this season. But then you put your grass clippings on top of it. And like I said, you just keep heaping the grass clippings over the top of it as the season goes on. And you probably want to use grass clippings in your garden anyhow. So, combination of the two, and you'll make yourself some nice compost for next season. Now, I do it a little differently also. What I did over here, right? If you look in this row where I have my green beans, I planted my green beans like I did over here, which they haven't started coming up yet. But I got a thin row right there where my green beans are. Then what I'll do is I'll dig in between each row over a foot wide. And then I'll do the same process like I just did with the small batch composting right in between each row. Each row, I did the same thing. I put bark mulch, I put sticks, put more bark mulch, and I'm going to put grass clippings over it over the course of the year. That way, I'll grow my mycelia right in between each row. And I should only have to till right in that small row. And this will help to keep the weeds down. There will be some growing that will occur, and I'll pull them out, but it's really easy to pull weeds out if they grow in that material because it's so soft. Well, I appreciate anybody that watches my videos, and you all have a great weekend.